Jim Jordan wins House GOP's nomination for Speaker, but deep divisions remain. Washington House Republicans on Friday selected Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio as their second nominee for Speaker of the House in less than 3 days, in the latest attempt to unite the party behind a candidate to fill the role that's been vacant since Representative Kevin McCarthy's unprecedented ouster last week. Rep. Elise Stefanik, a member of the House leadership, congratulated Jordan on his victory on social media Friday afternoon. The House Republican Conference nominated Jordan by secret ballot less than a day after Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana withdrew his candidacy. The conference previously voted to nominate Scalise over Jordan on Wednesday, but the Majority Leader failed to attract enough support to win a majority in the full House and dropped his bid by Thursday evening. Whether Jordan will have better luck than Scalise in uniting the fractured Republican conference remains to be seen. Jordan is a hardline conservative and co-founded the House Freedom Caucus, a group of far-right members who have been a thorn in the side of previous GOP leaders for years. As chairman of the Judiciary Committee, the Ohio Republican is also one of the most vocal defenders of former President Donald Trump on Capitol Hill and is playing a leading role in the impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Several moderate Republicans have said they would oppose his candidacy, leaving the future of his bid for the Speaker's gavel in doubt. The House has been at a standstill since last week's unprecedented ouster of McCarthy, who was unseated after a revolt by 8 far-right members who objected to his handling of the recent fight over government funding. The next step in the process for selecting a new Speaker would involve a vote of the full House, Democrats included. Scalise's nomination never got that far, since he lacked the support among his own members that would have avoided a long, drawn-out floor battle, like the kind that preceded McCarthy's election earlier this year. Jordan will require near unanimity among Republican members to overcome united Democratic opposition, and a quick vote is complicated by a spate of absences that further narrow any candidate's path to victory in the full chamber. Just 209 out of the 221 GOP House members were at an earlier closed-door meeting, although those who were absent could in theory be called back to vote relatively quickly. Scalise's announcement Thursday evening that he was dropping out came amid mounting opposition to his bid from the GOP conference's right flank, effectively preventing him from being able to secure the 217 votes likely needed to win the gavel in a vote on the House floor. Scalise told reporters he withdrew in hopes that a candidate could emerge who could bring the party together. "Our conference still has to come together and is not there," he said. "There are still some people that have their own agendas, and I was very clear, we have to have everybody put their agendas on the side and focus on what this country needs." His exit added to the chaos that has enveloped the GOP conference since McCarthy's ouster. The House is now in its second week without a leader, leaving one chamber of Congress effectively paralyzed until a speaker is elected. "We're a ship that doesn't have a rudder right now," Representative Mark Alford, a freshman member from Texas, told reporters Thursday. "This is a troubling time for members who came here to do serious business. The dysfunction among Republicans comes as lawmakers are confronting a fast-approaching November 17 deadline to fund the government and rising pressure to respond to the war in Israel and Gaza following the brutal attacks by Hamas nearly 1 week ago." Supporters of Jordan, who secured 99 votes during the secret ballot vote earlier this week, have suggested he can win the gavel, though his candidacy was already running into resistance from moderate Republicans before his nomination. While Jordan's allies have said he is the only Republican who can win 217 votes, Representative Mike Garcia of California indicated some GOP lawmakers would be turned away from supporting the Ohio conservative following the week's events. Time equals 400 ms. greater than. There's an academic debate about whether we reward, the tyranny of the minority in this case, he said, adding that while he supports Jordan, there's enough people that would see what has happened and transpired over the last 40 hours to not support him, that we're going to have the same problem with Jordan that we had with Scalise. So, I think it's a math problem. The prospect of a protracted fight among Republicans over a speaker candidate has prompted some questions of whether the House should act to temporarily expand the authority of Representative Patrick McHenry, who is leading the chamber in the interim as Speaker pro tempore. McHenry was appointed to the post by McCarthy. Following his removal, though the historic nature of the situation has left the House with no precedent to reference. Whether McHenry's authority extends beyond overseeing the election of a new speaker is unclear, thanks to some ambiguity in the House rules governing the appointment of a speaker pro tempore. Time equals 400 Ms. greater than some members have also raised the possibility of a consensus candidate if Jordan fails to secure the required support to become speaker. North Carolina Representative Greg Murphy raised McHenry and Reps. Kevin Hern of Oklahoma and Byron Donalds of Florida as potential compromise candidates. There's some real quality people in there that are smart, not only intellectually, but politically, who can fundraise and lead the conference in the direction because our fight is not with each other, it shouldn't be with each other, Murphy told reporters before Friday's internal vote.